Hello everybody, what's up and welcome. My name is John. I have Doe in the background, and this is John and Doe. This is the Bible study. So today we were both feeling a little under the weather. We had to sleep in. We couldn't go to church today, unfortunately. I worked a very long shift yesterday and it killed me, and this morning when I woke up it was rainy and I was just not doing it. But my wife, she has RA, which is rheumatoid arthritis. If she wants, we'll do a future video talking about that. But when she gets inflamed, she can't go to church. But I'm not going to let that stop me, okay? I'm not going to let my tired stop me, and I'm not going to let us being in a position where we're not able to go anywhere stop me. I'm still going to do my Bible study because that is my duty. I have to do it. I believe in God, and I believe that Jesus died for me, and I believe that he would want me to read his word whenever possible. So this week we are going to do our Bible study on chapter 4, Genesis, the book of Moses. If you were here for the last video, we got all the way from the creation of man to the point where man was kicked out of the Garden of Eden. And at the exit placed cherubims. God placed cherubims and a flaming sword which turned in every which way to keep the way of the tree of life. So, yeah, I just looked at the book for that. I had to know what it said last. So he put these angels called cherubims there, which are a very, very scary looking angel if you've seen pictures of them online. I don't think that's actually how they look. They might actually look a different way than that. I don't believe that's how a cherubim looks, but whatever. Everyone has their own interpretation of how angels look. I think they look like men, like military men with wings, you know. God has his army up in heaven. So it's whatever. We're going to get on to chapter 4, where Cain and Abel are. Let me make sure. Okay, yes. So in this chapter, we're going to learn about Cain and Abel, who were brothers, who were they were together. Born from Adam and Eve, the first two brothers, and we're going to hear about their story. And then after that, we're going to stop for the day. It's a very short story. It's a very short, it's not a story, it's history, you know. But we're going to hear about it. And then after, it will go into the different families breaking off. And that is going to be for an entirely separate video, because I want to break down the family tree just a little bit, and I want to have like a chart. I want to sort of like do this professionally so that you can understand the way their family breaks off. So yes. Oh, if you hear if you feel the table bumping, like if the camera moves, it's the camera's on a stand, but the table is right above Jojo, and Jojo, he keeps smacking his head on the table. It's adorable. All right, without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, chapter 4. And remember, I still got my handy dandy highlighters. I'm not gonna make it important that Adam knew his wife. Okay, and Adam knew his wife Eve, and she conceived and bare Cain. Okay, Eve did something. She conceived and bare Cain. And the Lord said something. okay. And said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. Okay. So she said that, not the Lord. And she bare his brother Abel. So that's another important human doing something. And Abel was a keeper of the sheep. Abel was a keeper of the sheep. But Cain was a tiller of the ground. So these are both important human moments. This is their jobs. So I put it in orange. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, of the flat thereof, and and the Lord had respect unto Abel for his offering. I put that in orange, but it's the Lord doing something. Unto Cain and unto his offering God had not respect. So basically, Cain didn't bring, I don't know what happened, but Cain did not bring a respectful offering unto God, even though his job was fruit. I don't know if it was because he didn't bring God the good fruit from his fruit, or if God just said, hey man, you need to be giving more, but he didn't have respect for the offering. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. So okay, so Cain's countenance fell. He's doing something. His countenance fell. And then the Lord said unto Cain, no, Lord's speaking here, so he's interacting with Cain. Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou does well, thou shalt. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? He's still talking. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto you these shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. All right. So God is saying, if Cain's countenance falls, like he stops doing what he's supposed to do for God, that he said, okay, so here's how God's sort of saying this. He's saying, why are you wroth? Why are you mad? Why are you mad? And why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, won't you be accepted? But I'm not going to change God's words because, I don't want to change God's words or anything. I'm just saying, if you don't understand, that's what he's trying to, that's what he's saying. He's saying that, but in his way, in the way that it's written here. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. So he's saying, if you're very close to sinning, sin will easily take over you if you don't abide in me, basically. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And sorry about that. Again, JoJo's bumping the table. And thou shalt rule over him. So he's saying sin will become a big part of your life if you don't keep me in it, and it'll rule over you. And Cain talked with his brother Abel. Okay, here we go. Here's the first murder. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, Cain and Abel, that's what we're talking about, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. That's right. The one who was doing good for God. The one who was giving his firstborn of, his firstlings, the good of his sheep to God. The one who was following the rules. And the one who was getting God's blessing. He was jealous because of Abel getting the blessing from God. And he took it into his own hands to rid Abel of this earth, because he felt like he wasn't being treated good enough. He had no right to do that. That is a sin as well. That is messed. Murder is a sin. And Abel was the good child, and Cain, because he wasn't as good of a child as his brother, decided, I guess you don't need to exist anymore, because you're in my way of getting God's good grace. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is thy brother Abel? Where's Abel thy brother? That's actually the order he said it in. And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? So even in those days, people were coming up with phrases like, oh, who am I, their keeper? You know? But he's being sarcastic with God, and that's not something you should do, ever. And he said, so we're talking about God now, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. Okay, now this, I wouldn't say, I would say this is some form of miracle. It's not a blessing, but it's a miracle, you know? So, thou cursed from the earth which hath opened. Yeah. Thou art cursed. I'd say that's also a command. And now thou art cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. And a fugitive vagabond thou shalt be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Which is not true. He's a vagabond. He's a murderer. So he deserves what he's getting. And in God's eyes, that's what he got. When he tills the ground, he shall not yield unto her strength. So basically, you know how he got flowers and crops and stuff before? Not anymore. When he tills the ground, nothing will come forth. He won't get food or anything like that from the ground. So the only thing he can do is slay animals to eat, basically. And then he says, hey, my punishment is more than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond, in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. So none of this is important. This is him just, I mean, it is important, but I'm not going to highlight it because it doesn't have any of those meanings that I was talking about. So anyone that findeth him shall slay him. He's basically saying, oh, so now anyone that sees me is going to kill me? Is that how this is going to be? And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. So now God basically commanded that Cain would have this mark on him now. So I put it in command. And if anyone sees Cain now, they're gonna die. I mean, if they like try to kill him, they're gonna get revenge on them sevenfold. So whatever they did to Cain, it's gonna be taken out on them times 7. And Cain went out. Okay. Geography change. Went out of the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod, east of Eden. And Cain, there's another human doing something. And Cain knew his wife, and she received and bare Enoch. And he builded a city called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. So now the city is named Enoch. He built a city. And unto Enoch was born Irad, and unto Irad begot Mehujael. I can't say it. Mehujael. There it is. I can't say these names. And Mehujael begat Methusael. And Methusael begot Lamech. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives. The name of one was Ada, and the name of the other Zillah. And Ada bare Jabal. He was the father of such that dwell in tents, and such as have cattle. And his brother's name was Jabal. He was the father of all such as handle the harp and organ. So now there's people who are dealing in cattle, and people who are playing the harp and organ. There's music now. So this is where music finally starts coming in. You know? Even as far back as Genesis, music was a thing. It became a thing. And Zillah, she also bare Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron. The sister of Tubal was Naamah. And Lamech said unto his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech, hearken unto my speech, for I have slain. Oh, there's someone getting killed. For I have slain a man of my wounding, to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. And Adam knew his wife again. So so he said, so since I'm born of Cain and I slayed a man, now I should be 77-fold. Now he's going off, you know. You can't give a command that someone will be taking revenge on you. Only God can give that command. But he just did. So we'll see if that gets back to him. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son. Okay, so she bare a son. That's her doing something. And called his name Seth. For God said, she hath appointed me another seed. For God said, she hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And to Seth, to him also there were born a son. And he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord. Alright, so it took them this long to start calling on to God again. So hold up. Alright. So all of these generations just sprouted out. I'll do a real chart of it next video. Like I said, I don't want to get into it until after. I don't want to get into the generations and all that stuff until after this video, because this video was supposed to mainly be about Cain and Abel. So Cain separated off and had a son who had a son who had a son who had a son, and then that son took 2 wives, and then those wives had kids, and then he slew a man, and he was very I don't know, he was confident that he would be protected 77-fold now because he did something wrong, that he would have a mark on his head because he's a murderer. So what's happening is God put a mark on Cain's head, or a mark on Cain somewhere, that said that if someone hurts you, they get revenge taken on them 7-fold. So now this guy thinks because he's a murderer, he's going to get the same treatment, but times more. I don't know if that's going to come back to him. And because Abel was gone now, because he was slain, Eve and Adam didn't have a good son anymore. Their other son had to leave, so now they had no son. So they had another son in place of Abel called Seth. And Seth found a wife. By the way, it doesn't tell us where these other people came from, like these wives and like the wives and stuff like that. Okay, so I don't think Adam and Eve were the only 2 people God created in this time. They were the main 2 people God created, the ones to look over Eden. God probably went forth from Eden, and that's why he left the garden in the first place. All right. So God probably left the Garden of Eden in the first place to start creating elsewhere, outside of the garden, in these other lands. And when Eden when they had to leave Eden, they ran into these other people God created, and that's how, you know, that's how Abel and Cain found wives and such. Or God just created them wives whenever he felt the time was right. Who knows? You know, I don't know what God did when these people were created or how they came about, but they came about, and they were able to find wives, and generations were able to multiply and multiply and multiply. Okay? So the point of this whole entire study today is about Cain and Abel. The point of this study is to say, just because someone has something better than you, or someone is favored in God's sight more at the time, doesn't mean you're not favored in God's sight. And just because you didn't do as good of a job for God doesn't mean he loves you any less. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing a horrible job for God, but he still loves me, and he still cares about me, and he still created me, so he still has his love for me. I'm just not favored at that time. I'm not as favored as someone else. And God has a plan. He's not just sitting back there favoring people at random times. God knows what's coming. He knows what's going to happen. There's multiple possibilities for what happened, but he knows. He knows what's going to happen based on who we are. And he's going to stand by us and love us regardless of how good of a job we do. And we'll just need to do a better job next time. We don't just kill somebody because they did a better job than us. And that's what Cain did. Cain said he was jealous of his brother, and he slew him. And so he got the consequence. He was then told to leave. And he was told that he can't till the ground and receive anything, which is just his deserts. You know, you shouldn't murder people. It's not right. It's a sin. And this person has a life and a family, and they also serve God. So why kill them other than you're a terrible person? And so God put a mark on his head and said, if anybody hurts him, they shall be revenged on them sevenfold. And he left the land, and then the generations progressed. So now we're on to the generations progressing. So I'm going to leave this off here. If you did like this video, please leave a like down below. You can also subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. If you want, you can leave a comment on what you liked about this Bible study, or what you'd like to see more of in the future on our channel. We have a lot of plans. We have a lot of videos that could come out. We have a lot of ideas, me and my wife. We're happy together. We love each other, and we're going to make loads and loads of content for YouTube, but it's not really going to be for YouTube. It's for us to look back on our memories. So sometimes we won't have a video, and you'll have this, because I'll definitely be doing more of this series of reading the Word of God, because that's important. It's very important, and I feel like it's a duty now, and I have to do it. Going to church was also a duty, but I was tired. I understand that God understands that when I'm tired, I'm tired. So I don't always miss church, you know. Sometimes you miss church because your body can't take it. You've been working hard all week and you just can't take it. And the same goes for my wife. Like her rheumatoid arthritis is just so severe today. Like it's inflamed that we couldn't go.
I just couldn't walk normal because it hurts that bad.
God understands. God made her the way she is. God has a plan for her, and he understands that some days she won't be able to make it. So I still did this. I still kept up. I still kept up with reading the word and with, you know, trying to be a good what do you call it, disciple, like a good student, you know, of God's word. So I guess that's all that matters, is that I'm here trying to do what I'm supposed to do. And I hope you guys are all trying to do what you're supposed to do as well. If you feel called by God, you should definitely do what he tells you, because it's important that you follow God's instruction in his word. And don't be jealous of anyone. That's the message for today. Don't be jealous of anyone to a point where you want to kill them, because that's just not right. It's just not right. All right. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day, and stay happy, my Jane-Does and John-Does out there. We hope to see you again on the channel. Thanks for stopping by. And like I said, subscribe if you want to see more content like this.
And to be part of the Doe family.
The Doe family, yeah. The Jon&Do. And JoJo. Peace out, everybody.
You should show JoJo first before you hate a lot of Gaga.
Oh. Yeah, I gotta show you the baby. Hey, say hi. Say hi. You see it? Say hi. Oh.
He doesn't like the camera that much. Sorry, guys, I'm kind of sick too.
Do you want to at least get in camera 1 second for them? So you can say goodbye-bye?
Hey guys, sorry. I'm not feeling too good right now.
It's okay, baby.
Yeah, just be blessed that you're still here. If you want to know any information about what I have, or the history of it, just comment down below. Like you said.
She'll do a video.
I'll do a separate video.
You okay, baby?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right. Well, peace out, everybody. Have a good day, and love you all. See you later.
Pikachu.
And bye-bye. I don't know how to...